So I'm trying to take a green color for Hydra, and first we will try to see how it looks like. So Hydra will have a cylindrical body somewhat like this. At this end there is a kind of a conical projection. So we'll show this with dotted lines. At the top of this conical projection is the mouth. So this part is called as the hypostome. But the mouth is usually not very visible. The reason is that there are tentacles all around this part. So there are many tentacles over here all around this part. And where we will find this we will find in aquatic habitats, and always in fresh water. Freshwater aquatic habitats. And the reason why it is shown in green is that because it is actually green in color, because its body wall has many algae inside it. This is not necessary from the point of view of the topic that we are discussing, because we are actually discussing nutrition. But since we are discussing about the nutrition, we need to know some initial details, and therefore we say that the body wall has got a lot of symbiotic algae, and therefore it is green in color. It is found in the water. This part is the mouth along with tentacles. Naturally, feeding takes place over here, and this is an important part. And this part, because of the mouth, we call this as oral end. And this part, because it is the opposite of the oral end, we call this as aboral end. Usually this type of oral aboral ends are seen in animals that possess radial symmetry. Yeah. Now, as you can see, we have talked about the mouth, where the food enters inside because it is captured by tentacles, and the food goes into this large space which you can think of inside this, which you can think of like a stomach. The food is digested. Whatever remains undigested is discarded out of the same opening. I repeat over here. Food in the form of different organisms are captured by the tentacles, taken into this inside this cavity, which you can think of like a stomach, about which we will study just in a few moments. Whatever is digested is absorbed by the body. Whatever is not digested comes out of the same opening. That means that there is only mouth. There is no anus. This is an example of, therefore, animals with incomplete alimentary canal. Note that its digestion and nutrition, as far as these are concerned, it is adequate. But in early evolution, this was not present, this was not developed, and therefore we say that this is an incomplete alimentary canal with only the mouth but no anus. So let's now see what is the food of these animals. So food is all these groups of animals that we include in this particular phylum, they are all carnivorous. And the food of Hydra is that they feed on zooplankton. Tiny organisms like feeds it with the help of tentacles. because on the tentacles are present very special groups of cells. So on the tentacles are present special groups of cells that we call as cnidocytes. These are present on the outer layer, which we call as the epidermis. So these cnidocytes, they look something like this: a flask shaped structure with a lid over here, and here there is a sensory hair, and inside this there is a cyst like structure. This we call as nematocyst. Now when there is an organism that is somewhere over here and the sensory hair is disturbed, there is a change in the electric potential and this thread like structure comes out. So now there is this flask like structure over here. The lid has opened up. This hair is as it is. From inside the cyst, a thread like structure has come out. This thread like structure will give out venom. So tentacles have batteries of cells which we call as cnidocytes that have nematocysts that give out venom. And with the help of this venom, the prey is paralyzed. The prey is paralyzed. And now the food is taken into the mouth and from there into the cavity inside. Now note that the cells over here are called cnidocytes. Therefore it is included in phylum Cnidaria. In all these cases I am not pronouncing the word C, the letter C, therefore it is included in this phylum called Cnidaria. So this is one of the names of the phylum called Cnidaria on the basis of tentacles over here. Now let us try to draw a diagram showing the section of the hydra. So I am drawing somewhat similar diagram. Only thing is alright, this is one layer and we will try to show another layer as well. So this part, the blue line which I am drawing is the internal layer and the yellow mustard colored part was the external layer. Doesn't matter. Drawing a diagram on this is not so easy. So in any case, let's label this now. This part is the mouth. This is the tentacle. This outer layer is the epidermis. The outer layer is the epidermis. The inner layer is the endodermis, but another name is gastrodermis. Why? Because this entire cavity here is called as gastrovascular cavity. It is also called as coelenteron. and therefore another name of the phylum is Coelenterata. So there are two names of this phylum. It is either called Coelenterata or it is called Cnidaria. So what is this? Why this name Coelenterata? Because this space inside is called coelenteron. The better name is gastrovascular cavity. Therefore I repeat once again. In this diagram we are seeing a section. Okay, it has been made into a section. What kind of a section? A longitudinal section, because we have cut the animal lengthwise. Therefore it is longitudinal section of Hydra. So in this longitudinal section of Hydra, we are able to see mouth, tentacle, outer layer, mustard colored layer is epidermis, inner layer is called gastrodermis, and the space inside is called gastrovascular cavity or coelenteron. Now, because there are two layers over here, and when the animal is developing, two germ layers are there. Although it is not relevant, I would just like to introduce the word over here, which we call as diploblastic, because there are essentially two germ layers, and from these two germ layers we are developing epidermis and endodermis. The two germ layers are endoderm and ectoderm, and that is why these two. Now, as I said, food has been captured by tentacles and food enters into the mouth, and from here it is pushed inside. The mouth can open up wide when food has to be pushed inside, otherwise it is very small. Now food comes over here. So digestion takes place mainly because of cells in this blue colored layer or in this gastrodermis or endodermis. So let us look at this particular part and expand this region. Okay. So I am just drawing some cells over here of the ectoderm. These cells we need not bother. There are different cell types. All of them are here in this layer. But the blue colored, that is the endoderm. There are two main cell types which we are interested in. So these are a bunch of flask shaped cells. Of course, they will contain a nucleus. So on this side also you can show cells. Let's give them a name. These cells, all these cells are enzymatic gland cells. What do they do? That is all these cells which I have shown over here as well as here. Remember, once again we are talking about the internal layer, that is the endoderm. This was the epidermis from the ectoderm. So when the food comes over here, these enzymatic gland cells release enzymes from here into this layer and try to digest most of the food. And since the enzyme is being released from inside the cell to outside the cell, this is called as extracellular digestion. Now there is another type of cell which we will say use this particular color, a different color of blue, slightly bigger, something like this. They contain flagella, and these extensions that you see, they can be extended even into pseudopodia. So there are two features of this cell. They have flagella also, and this extension can be made into a kind of a pseudopodia. They also have nucleus. What do they do? With the help of the flagella, this whatever food and water is there is continuously being churned up and down, so it helps in digestion. Also, the pseudopodia can be used to grab the food. Whichever food has not been digested, it will be grabbed by phagocytosis. And these cells are called as nutritive endodermal cells. Nutritive endodermal cells. These two names you must remember. One is enzymatic gland cells and one is nutritive endodermal cells. So what do the nutritive endodermal cells do? They phagocytose whatever food has been not been digested. They will grab it inside and take it inside them, digest it, and that gets absorbed in the rest of the body. So this is involved in intracellular digestion. So this is a unique example where the animal is digesting by both ways, extracellularly and intracellularly. This type of nutrition where the hydra is consuming food which is mostly made up of different types of organisms, digesting it completely, is also called HOLOZOIC, Holozoic mode of nutrition. So this is what we have learned about nutrition in hydra. So thank you, and this is Professor Ravindranath signing off.